Hi, everybody. DJ Yoakley here with another player profile for Warren JFK, a very special one. Not that they're all special, or not that they're all not special, but this one, a one that people have been clamoring for. They want to hear from this young man. He's had quite the career. Everything he does turns to gold, essentially. A guy that is just shy of about 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in his career. The reigning, defending, undisputed slam dunk champion for YSN and a guy that everybody loves off the floor as well. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nick Ryan. Nicholas, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great, dude. Better now that you're here, but certainly not as good as you. This season has been something incredible. You've posted a 50-point game. You've been everybody's kind of watching you. You've been the guy around the area that people keep tabs on. What is that like? Are there pressures? Do you kind of feel yourself a little bit? And how do you handle it?
Yeah, obviously, it's an honor that I'm at that point, in my career where people are keeping tabs on me and things like that. But it is a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, too, me and my dad talk about it all the time. This is what I've worked my whole life for. So, I always wanted to be like that guy, and that's what I've worked for a very long time. So, yeah, it's an honor for sure.
Naturally, when games are on the line, people are looking at you. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're having a good game, bad game, or indifferent. They're looking to you and seeing what you're doing. Teammates alike, I would imagine. I mean, how you say that? Yeah, you feel that pressure, but like, how do you compartmentalize it when a game's on the line, or the season is quote unquote on the brink? As you guys move into the playoffs, how are you dealing with those pressures mentally?
I just believe that everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for, and whatever happens, it's going to happen, no matter what. So, I just kind of gives me that peace of mind to, no matter whatever happens, I'm okay with the outcome. But obviously, it'd be nice to win.
What I love about you most is as much attention as you get, you always deflect it to your teammates, your coaches, and your family, your community. Why is that? Why is that important for you and for those watching you, those young eyes that, hey, one day I want to be as good as Nick Ryan. I want to be the kind of player that he is. I want to be the kind of man that he is. Why is that important to you to put others first, I guess?
Well, I mean, for one, the community, my family, everybody around me, my school, they've always had my back. So, I always got to make sure I give them credit whenever I, have a big accomplishment or do something good. And then as far as the kids go, I was that little kid once who was looking up to the high schoolers. So I always make sure, make it a priority to give them a good example, be a good role model for them, and try and do, always say what's up to them, give them a high five, dap them up in the hallways, whatever, so they know, I see them.
I mean, you mentioned it. Who are some of the high schoolers that you looked up to that really kind of put their wings around you?
Yeah, for sure. Justin Buffenkamp. He graduated from Kennedy 2017. So like my whole life, I looked up to him. Cam Hollabaugh, another big one. I always looked up to him. I always thought he was, he was the man. I mean, he was the man. So, and, he always treated me very well. So those two for sure.
When you're thinking about wearing that K, in whatever capacity it is, and you've done so much within that school district, how does that K make you feel, and how do you want to embody that? How have you wanted to embody that along the way?
The K is a special thing to wear on your chest. I mean, we say it a lot. We are Kennedy, we are family, but I mean that's the truth around here. We are family, and everybody gets along like we're family. We support each other like we're family. So it's like I want to represent that in the best way possible every time I put on the K, for sure.
Last year, the All-Star game, the slam dunk contest, we talked about, what you did. People still clamoring about that. I'm not going to put the pressure on you here, so don't worry. You always have that open invitation as a champion. But, I mean, when you're doing that in the way that it was done, that gym was packed. So many people on you. Do you always feel the need when that pressure is on you, or that big moment is happening, to rise and meet it? Or, and where do you get that from? How can you practice that? Or is it just something you've always had?
Uh, I'd like to say it's something that I've always had, but also, I mean, it comes with preparation. I'm confident in my ability because of the way I prepare. I always work hard. I try to do everything to the best of my ability. So, when that occasion does come, I can rise to the occasion.
You mentioned your preparation. I was talking to a young man who was absolutely almost googly eyed because he came back and he said, I got to work out with Nick Ryan today. And that dude is the real deal. When you talk about preparation, I mean, there's a lot of hours that are happening when those lights aren't shining. Talk to me about, where you learned your work ethic, understanding that there needs to be preparation no matter how much skill or talent you have. The hard work needs to come first.
Well, yeah, I mean, it for sure started when I'd say about fourth grade when I started playing basketball. And I told my dad, I wanted to be the best player to come out of Kennedy ever. And he told me, he's like, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of preparation, like we're talking about. But I think you could do it one day. For him to, tell me that and believe in me meant a lot for sure.
What are some of the things that people don't know go into your preparation, go into your work prep?
It's going to be some days it's going to be like yesterday, for example. I went to practice, went and lifted right after practice, and then got extra shots up. Like there's going to be days like that. And then, after a long school day, it's like, it's going to be hard, but sometimes you got to do the things you don't want to do in order to be great.
You talk about that school day. What is the favorite subject right now and who teaches it?
Well, I got a couple favorite subjects. I mean,
fair enough.
One, WJFK, which is the news station we do. Mrs. Particular sitting right here. So I got to give a shout out to her. I mean, that's always fun, part of the day. But another one is theology. My theology teacher, Mr. Klogner, he's a great guy. He also talks to me about sports all the time. Mr. Carabia, too. Both of my theology teachers and philosophy teachers, I mean, they're great.
Theology seems to be a hot topic at JFK right now. I love it. What is it about theology that you enjoy?
Well, I mean, one is just the learning about our faith is a very, very big part of, I feel like, a lot of people's lives here. And I mean, to get further into depth of, the knowledge of that is awesome. And then the teachers too are just, both the teachers we have are incredible. I mean, they've helped me grow my faith so much. And like, once again, too, they talk about sports with us. They talk about everything with us. So, I mean, our theology department is very good here.
What are some? I mean, obviously, there's people out there that want you. You've worked really hard to look to potentially the next level. What are the plans for Nick Ryan moving forward?
I'm not 100% sure yet what the plans are moving forward. I do have some interests from some college. I mean, D2, D3 mostly. So I got to figure that out for sure. But right now, I'm just kind of focused on the rest of the season, trying to make the best of it.
I mean, this is a big time of year. This is the March Madness, but we're in February, naturally. What do you love most about being able to have a season that's essentially win and move on, lose and go home?
Well, especially being a senior too, having that lose or go home mentality. I mean, you can't be denied every game. It is going to be your last, if you lose, obviously. So, I mean, you got to play like it. You got to play at 150%. There's no more messing around.
What has been one memory you've had on the floor at JFK that you'll treasure forever right
now? I'd say two for sure, winning the district title last year. That was obviously the first district title I ever won. So that was an awesome moment, especially doing it with the guys that graduated last year. They were an awesome group. And then the second one would be breaking the boys scoring record just a few weeks ago. That was for sure a special moment because, like I said, that's something I've worked for my whole life. So doing that was just incredible.
Is there a cap for you? I mean, is there something where you're looking at hey, okay, this is the best I can do with this, or do you just continue to surprise yourself and kind of the goals that you've had along the way?
I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that, but I've always believed in myself. I always believed one day I'd do like big things, and that's what I've worked for. So, I mean, every time I do something like set an accomplishment or set a, goal or whatever, I always think I'm going to be able to do it. And then once it happens, I'm like, all right, but what's next? I always try to look for what's next.
I know that you're not right at picking the school yet, and there's people that want you naturally, but what do you want to do when you get to school off the floor? I mean, what are some of the things that you want to focus and study?
I've thought about a lot of things. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards education, being a teacher, and then also coaching. I want to be a coach too, and give back to my community, just like all the coaches have done for me.
Don't give up those WJFK dreams, man. I'm telling you, you could be sitting where I'm sitting one day because the smarts are there. Obviously, the interest in sports are there, and you've got the voice for it. You got that deep bass voice that you can pelt it out. Could you ever see yourself, with a career in sports or being invested in sports on the other side of the microphone?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's also something that I've thought about, doing something like you're doing right now. I mean, I think that's awesome too. So we'll see.
Dude, there's a chair right there for you. You tell me it's done. It's over. Um, I mean, you've a young man with so many beliefs, values. Obviously, that was formed somewhere and forged somewhere. Who are some of the people that have made you into the man that you are today?
Well, obviously my parents. I mean, I can't say enough about them. The way they raised me. I mean, it was just like they were always, put faith first, always put your family first too. Like I mean, those go hand in hand, family, faith, and family. And then to just be a good young man. They've always disciplined me and raised me the right way, really. So I mean, my parents, and then I also gave shout out to my theology teachers as well because they've helped me deepen my faith in God and stuff like that. So and that's also I think that's helped me grow as a person.
We had an interview earlier with a young lady you might know, and she said that you and your brother, one of her role models, your sister Dee Dee. Obviously, a very tough break for her this year. How have you kind of stepped in and shown her the big brother love that we all know from our own families? How have you stepped in and told her that it's going to be all right and helped her battle through the adversity she's going through?
Yeah, I mean, Dee Dee, she's a strong girl, so I know that she's going to end up getting through this and she's going to come back even better because she's going to work so hard at it. And, so it's like every day just going to be in that big brother role, going in, checking in on her, making sure she's okay. If she needs anything, helping her with it. I'm obviously not opposed to doing that. And I gladly do it for her because, I love her. That's my sister.
She also let us know that she snaps her fingers and you bring her water. Is that true or is that fabricated?
I mean, I don't know if it's at the snap of the fingers, but I'll do it eventually for her. It'll get done.
And then lastly, she said she would never let you cook food for her. Why is that?
Probably because I can't cook.
You can't cook anything?
Maybe some scrambled eggs. That's about it.
Scrambled. I was going to say, what's the one thing that you can cook right now that is going to impress anybody?
I don't know if it'll be impressive, but I mean, it'll be edible.
Eggs, scrambled eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
You go with the milk too, or do you just go eggs, straight eggs?
Like, do I use milk with the eggs, like to make it?
Yeah, make the eggs fluffy is what I was told.
No, usually I don't. I'll just do some olive oil. That's what I do and boom, cook the eggs.
All right, couple quick fast break questions here for you. Number one, fast food restaurant you always go to?
Chick-fil-A, probably.
Chick-fil-A. Okay, what's the go-to there?
I got to get grilled sandwich. I like the grilled sandwiches better than the regular sandwiches for some reason. I don't know. Then fries, Coke, and then 8-count nugget on the side. But I like the regular 8-count. I don't like the grilled nuggets more than the regular nuggets. It's a little weird, but I don't know why.
That's a little wild because I mean, you got the grilled sandwich and then the regular nugget. Okay,
right.
We'll let you live with that.
It's a little weird.
You've done well for yourself, so we'll let that one slide. What's ultimately, I mean, if you could do anything job-wise for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, like I said, probably something where I'm able to give back to my community and educate them in the right proper manner, especially with sports too. I want to be like a role model in the sports world, I think.
The Nick Ryan Jukebox, there's one song that is always on it, and there's one song that is never allowed on your jukebox. What are they?
I don't know. That's a very, very tough question. I mean, there's not too many things I don't like as far as music goes. I can't even say one particular song. I like it all. Rock, country.
There's no song out there that you're like, I hate this song. If I hear it again, I'm going to go nuts.
Not off the top of my head. I can't think of one.
He's a lover, folks, not a fighter. Is there, here we go. One player, teammate that you would not give the aux cord to in the locker room?
Maybe shoot. That's a good. I don't know. That's also another good one. Let me think about it for a second. Maybe Christian Swagger. He's sitting right here, but I don't know about his music taste.
What would he play that you'd say absolutely not?
Probably just some really weird music. Like I don't know. He's like really. He'll play something really strange.
Teammate that you'd love to go out to eat with?
All of them. I love all my teammates. I know that's cliche, but all
Good
of them.
answer. Good answer. Favorite when you get the schedule release, what's the team you look forward to playing most?
I'd say probably Canfield because I'm good buddies with a lot of the guys on there. Drew Shapiro, Ben Weaver, Jake DeLucia, all of them. Those guys are, they're like my friends. And then also Dylan O'Hara is the assistant coach, and I work out with him. He's like a brother to me, basically. So, yeah.
Fair enough. And ultimately, you get to be a superhero for one day. What superpowers are you taking?
I'd say probably being able to fly.
Being able to fly. Where would you fly to?
I fly everywhere. I don't know, not in one place in particular.
Well, I hate to break it to you, kiddo, but you've already have this superpower to fly. We've all seen it, in person. Nick, thank you so much for taking time for us today. We're so proud of you, and naturally continued success in everything that you do, my brother.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. It was great. Thank you.